Starfleet Underground. Every week, we'll take a look at the latest Star Trek news and then check out a current or classic episode of Star Trek. Beverly Crusher is a badass, but she needs backup. Picard and Riker try to borrow the refit Titan, but Captain Shaw says no. His number 1 is a 7 of 9, and she helps them anyway. And did we mention that Beverly has had another son, and we don't know who the father is?
What is all that ripping thing noise? Like, what? You're making a mixed tape? You don't use real tape to make a mixtape.
Oh, wow, that's really nice of them, but really wrong.
What do you,
Captain?
How many different types of tape do you have? Oh my God, that's like masking tape.
Pissed.
I am so sorry, Heather. The dots don't understand what a mixtape is.
They
don't
stole
know about
my
cassette
gaff tape.
They stole gaff tape. They've got my duct tape missing. I'm sure they have some printer tape somewhere from
my double-sided tape.
They stole someone's boob tape.
One of them just ran by with measuring tape.
Oh, measuring tape! I need that. Man.
What's
Wrong kind of tape.
What the hell is that? What do you mean it's a tapeworm?
That's
what do you mean it's
not,
still tape?
Oh,
no.
If it fits in the mix.
Did they finally get your tapeworm, Nathan?
Oh, no, it's not mine. What do you mean?
I think that's Flox's tapeworm.
That's Dr. Flox's tapeworm. Don't put it outside.
Yeah, don't shove it out an airlock.
What the hell?
You don't want to have to deal with that.
Oh, my God. Sometimes I think these things are more trouble than they're actually worth. It's a good thing they do.
It was a nice sentiment. They wanted to make a mixtape. It's a really, really dear and lovely thing to do. Except they don't know what a mixtape is.
They had no idea what a mixtape was.
No.
I don't want them to take that anywhere near me. I don't think anyone wants that anywhere near them.
Why are you pushing the tape slowly into that box?
It's caution tape. You're not supposed to go fast with caution tape.
What do you do? No, he's saying it's a slow jam.
Oh. Okay, well, I guess he Googled what a slow jam is. Oh, he used actual jam, though.
Oh, my God. These
Oh,
dots
no.
are just...
Was it strawberry? Was it...
yeah, the strawberry jam.
Strawberry jam.
I don't know, but the tapeworm really likes it.
Well, at least somebody's happy.
For those of you just tuning in, because I'm not going to even pretend that the show doesn't start when it starts, because I keep missing the light. So I'm just assuming, without looking up, that it's already broadcasting. So we're just going to leave it at that. Thank you for joining us for another week of Starfleet. What do you mean the light wasn't on until just now? You're lying to me. It was too broadcasting. What do you mean no, it wasn't? What do you mean there are 4 lights? Get the fuck out of here. I'm sorry.
How many lights are there? There's 4 lights.
Thank you for joining us for another week of Starfleet Underground. We're very excited for this show here because we get a chance to talk about Picard, the 3rd season, 1st episode, which, oh my God, is just so much goodness in it.
But you guys had the Section 31 clearance, right? You guys saw the 1st and 2nd episode already.
Yeah, we did. Section 31 did not let us see us any more than that.
Very jealous. Very jealous.
I'm so jealous.
And somebody spoiled a spoiler last week. We had to censor that.
Oh, yeah. Section 31 wasn't happy about that.
Yeah, no, he actually, well, he wasn't happy after the fact for sure.
However, I did have, oh my God.
You recalled that? There's no blank space in your brain? Because you got stunned pretty heavily, sir.
Oh my God. She blanked. I see her face, but I can't pull her name. She did something to me. Section 31, she was in Discovery.
Soji?
Raffi?
No, she was going to have her own series.
Oh.
Captain Giorgio?
Giorgio.
Yeah, Captain Giorgio.
She was Empress.
Any rate, I barely remember that because I was sleeping and it's coming back to me now. I look up and she's standing
all coming back to you now
on the side of my bed, and she's got this ruler with a metal spike. And she looks at me and she goes, "If you give another spoiler, I will slap your dick off." Do you understand me?
Are you sure you weren't dreaming that?
It might have been.
I would have spoiled something right then and there. I'd be like, okay, take me.
It might have been.
We're cool.
But I said, like, no, I didn't spoil the show. And she goes, yes, you did. I heard it. And then I saw a flash and I don't remember anything. So if I did spoil it.
Do you still have your dick?
Oh, wait. Why?
God.
What the fuck? It's a piercing. How the hell did I get a piercing?
Did you get a Prince Albert?
Prince Albert in a can.
Oh, why did I get a piercing? It's not pierced.
It's for her pleasure.
Well, I can't say it's not pierced now because it is. Oh, fuck me. Well, okay.
Now you can do multiple angles, sir.
Okay. Well, first off, this show is not for children. If you've been listening this way, you got away with it. So you need to go away. And
who is Prince Albert?
It's not in the can. So... Ed, remember, if you happen to find handcuffs and a baton, a leather mask and a mate, your mom is a superhero. Just realize that.
Oh, yes.
That's what it is for.
Superheroes.
Those are my superhero accessories, Captain. I think I'll need those back.
Yeah, the superheroes. So thank you for listening to us and for joining us on another episode here. I am Captain Nathan Adams with apparently a new piercing that's got... Oh, it's got 1701 with the little ball barrels on it. And that's cute. And I have my science officer.
Hi, I'm Heather Ferris. I'm the science officer. And these dots with their tape, they need to stop. They are now going through the VHS tapes. And they are antiques. I mean, I've been saving those for a long time, and they won't stop.
Yeah, we're going to have to get... the person I'm introducing next, he's going to have to reprogram them. Number one?
Hey, this is Patrick. I'm number one. I'm the computer guy and the foreign species liaison. And I'm just going to decommission them. Just overwrite their programming and just put them in a closet.
They all just ran out.
Wow, watch them whiz down that hall.
They just took off.
I thought you weren't about putting things in closets or people in closets.
Well... Not people, but, you know.
You shouldn't put a dot in a closet.
No.
Yeah, well, but they're going to be turned off anyway, so they won't know.
You turn off lots of people. They know.
You know, normally when you're in the closet, you're turned off. You know, you have to come out of the closet before you get turned on again.
The dots just came down the hall with furs and looks like some sort of stockings and says, you can't put us back in the closet. Hell no, we won't go.
Oh, no, we won't go.
I thought they were on the way to reenact the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
It's astounding.
That's a possibility. What? 007, he said he will not sashay away. You cannot do that to him.
Anticipation.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Speaking of anticipation, and the person who I'm going to need help to remove this barbell off my tallywhacker, my chief engineer.
I'll just pass you through the transporter with a filter on, sir. You don't have any other metal implants, do you?
Hey, I'm very suspicious that this thing may be hooked up to some sort of transmitter. So please, we're going to have to take care of it.
Broadcasting live from your cock.
Well, thankfully, it's only a little information.
Hi, everybody. I'm Rocky. I'm engineer of the show and the ship. And what are we getting into tonight? Oh, my God.
You liked it, didn't you? There's no crime in giving yourself over to pleasure.
Well, it's going to be a very exciting show because I know I liked it. So just to remind you, if you don't know already, this show is being brought to you by Section 31, as well as our Patreon and the people who buy from our store. So thank you, all of you, because you help keep the show going and help keep our nacelles clean. So we really, really, really appreciate that. So thank you so much. However, we go to our next section, which, number one, we got any corrections?
Let me check subspace.
There was the horror movie mix-up.
What was that?
You didn't catch the horror movie mix-up we made last time?
I thought we fixed it.
No, it was.
Well, we did get a message from Tom Lothian. He was talking about our podcast, the one with the whales, and how we had mentioned that, you know, the Cetacean Institute was a real place, but it's not actually in Sausalito. The Cetacean Institute was actually filmed at the Monterey Bay Aquarium.
It's a little bit away from San Francisco.
Yeah, just a little bit. But thanks for catching that.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Tom.
And everything that was in Golden Gate Park wasn't shot in Golden Gate Park either. Would you believe that?
Thanks for listening to the show and providing us with that feedback. We actually really love it when that happens. And that was a good catch because we sure didn't know that. So
I didn't catch what's the horror one though? I don't know what you're talking about there.
Oh,
Heather was recalling that Kirk had a nightmare, but she got her horror movie bad guys mixed up.
Right. I said Friday the 13th, and it should have been Halloween because Kirk, his face was used for the Halloween mask for Mike Myers.
Michael Myers.
Yeah.
Friday the 13th had Jason.
Right. And Friday the 13th had Jason, and that was our mix-up.
And Nightmare on Elm Street had Freddy.
Right. The guy with the nails.
Come to Freddy.
Let's give a moment of silence so this way Lana can enjoy this. Okay, we can go back. So for those of you that don't listen to the show, that just went totally over your head.
You have to go back a couple episodes.
Yeah, in order to see what this is all about.
Get a towel, Lana.
Speaking of towels, because there's some people that really love our news segment. And so we're going to start off with my science officer. What do you got for us?
Hi, Captain. So this week's news is, if you guys haven't seen it already, the Picard cast visited an old friend of theirs on The View, Whoopi Goldberg. If you want to see part 1 and part 2, it's available on YouTube. We have the link in the show notes below. But the thing that stuck out at me the most about this interview was that Beverly Crusher was asked about her relationship with Picard, and she characterized it as, and I quote, sexually frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
So,
you're telling me that Picard couldn't Picard?
And she said it to his face, too. Like, he was sitting right there when she said it. Like, he said and his was nice, and hers was, like, sexually frustrating.
She obviously wasn't.
Come on. Laris comments on the fact that John Luke and Beverly, had tried to be in a relationship, and John Luke was like, yeah, well, the operative word is try.
I just thought she didn't prescribe enough Viagra.
I bet Laris got more than Beverly did.
Well,
actually, what really happens is
Is Giorgio there with you?
Oh, fuck. God damn that.
Were you about to drop a spoiler, sir? Because you saw the second episode. We haven't seen that yet.
Oh my God, did that hurt? Oh.
What happened was,
wait, what's that smell?
Your balls burning?
On fire.
That's your PA catching fire.
Jeez. Hold on.
There's a fire in the captain's quarters.
Captain's crotch.
Okay. It's out. All right. I will not try to even give a little bit of spoiler.
Is that the dog running away with the fire tape?
No, don't have him come in here.
It was just a small fire.
Oh, yeah. Very, very funny, Doc. What do you mean a fire can't start if there's no grass? Get out of here. Okay.
Hey, I got a question for you guys. So you have seen episode 1 and episode 2, and my question is, do they ever mention to any of the old characters that Picard died in season 1 and now he's an android or a
Sim? I am not going near there until Rocky helps get this off of me.
Okay.
Anyway.
So I'm not going there.
Are we going to do news?
Yes, go ahead, number 1.
Oh, I get to go first this time? Wow.
No, what you call went first?
I just went.
She did. She already went. Pay attention.
What did you say?
I'm saying you're looking too much forward to putting things back in the closet. It's your turn for the news.
Okay. It's been a very long day. It's been a very long day. Okay.
How many Romulan nails have you had?
I haven't had any. I think that's part of the problem, but I'm sober, so I don't drink. So, okay. So Star Trek Lower Decks Volume 1 soundtrack is getting a special vinyl release this March from Lakeshore Records, and it's really pretty. And it's got got a couple inserts, and the inside is the LCARS of the ship.
Ooh.
And there's 2 records.
4 sides?
2 albums.
Okay.
Yeah. So 4 sides.
And they look like pretty records. They're not just the plain black vinyl. That you're saying that the records are designer style?
No, they're like blue and yellow and green. And
oh, cool.
They're really pretty looking. Look for that in March.
Is that the dot running off with a record tape?
What is a record tape?
Taper?
No. Dun, 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 dun. You failed.
What?
Heather knows what CDs are, but she doesn't know what cassette tapes are either.
Hey, I was born after that.
Oh, so you don't know what a reel-to-reel is?
But if somebody showed you an 8-track, you wouldn't know what to do with the 8-track.
No clue.
Okay, good.
Or reel-to-reel?
Yeah, no. Or record player.
Oh,
Reel-to-reel. My dad played Christmas music at the house. It was on a reel-to-reel.
what fun. We can get into stories about that. I had a reel-to-reel, but it's gone, and that's another story.
Hey,
Yeah.
I know how to use a rotary phone.
Well, that's
That's
good. 'cause
something.
Can you drive a stick shift?
What's a phone?
Yes. Yes, I can.
My nieces and nephews don't know how to read an analog clock.
Oh, yeah?
So lame.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Because
just
they
the
don't
public
teach 'em.
education system failing us.
They don't teach them analog clock because they say everything's digital now.
Well, they don't teach them how to write in cursive either. So
Which
teach
is
them-
really
they don't-
cool.
They're not supposed to teach them to
They don't
curse.
they don't teach them how to curse.
Why the fuck would the school teach people how to curse?
I think it's great because then you can write notes to people of our generation and it's like a spy. They can't decipher it.
I thought it was students teaching students curse words.
No, that
Well,
always
that happens. That's the way we learn.
Yeah.
cursive, not
Well, I
cursing,
cursed when
cursive.
I did cursive.
Yeah, but
There's a
cursing
difference.
is more fun.
Yeah, not if it's in a different language. I saw this really cute Spanish girl when I lived in New York,
Uh-oh.
and I wanted to tell her hi and something really nice. So I asked my friend, "What do I say?" So he gave me this phrase to say. I went over to her and I said it, and she smacked the shit out of
Oh.
me. And they were laughing. I found out later what it meant, but it was not good.
This.
I basically
Called her a cochina.
I called her mother a dirty whore.
Oh.
So I says, "Your mom is a dirty whore," and she popped me.
You're like, if the horror fits.
Oh, my
I
God.
didn't know what I said, so it sounded pretty, but it was wrong. Okay, Chief, what do you got news?
I was looking at the update from the Pancreatic Cancer Action Network, otherwise known as PanCan. Jonathan Frakes and Armin Shimerman and Armin Shimerman's wife, Kitty Swink, is forming the team Trek Against Pancreatic Cancer.
Oh, nice.
And this is for the PanCan Purple Stride, which is the ultimate walk to end pancreatic cancer. It's happening Saturday, April 29th this year in LA and 59 other communities nationwide. So this is really cool. And apparently John Billingsley is joining them as well.
Nice.
So
I wonder if he's going to do signings of old fat flocks.
Yeah, go ask for old fat flocks.
Oh,
Fat Fox, he ain't what he used to be, ain't what he used to be, ain't what he used to be. Old Fat Fox, he ain't
I don't know
what
if
he
that's
used to
in
be.
season 2 of it.
Many long years ago.
Anyway, you can find and register for a PanCan Purple Stride event in your community by going to www.purplestride.org.
That's actually pretty
Cool.
good. Thank you. Well, I guess I'm the last one with any type of a news article. My news article is if anybody here has heard of Star Trek logs.
I've heard of the captain's
You mean
log.
the captain's log?
No, that's mine. There's a whole series. There's a series of logs.
Are you talking about the
providing-
ones they post on Instagram?
Yeah, I think they'll post the Instagram and others. It's pretty cool.
They let off
Oh,
a
what they
whole
gonna
bunch
do?
of them just before Picard let out. A
They
lot of
gonna give-
background information on all the characters.
Well, because
Yep.
Captain
Oh, cool.
Shaw was studying all the logs when Picard and Riker arrived.
So if you click on the link, it will come up in a LCARS display,
Mm-hmm.
L cars.
and it's LCARS, and it's going to give a bunch of people to give you an idea of what's been happening in the past 20 years of the show. So there's a log from Lore and Soon, Beverly Crusher,
What about B4?
Worf. No, not B4.
I mean, if there's lore, is B4 there too?
No, B4 is still mentally defective. You have Geordi.
What about Starbase 80?
Damn, Starbase 80?
No, they may be on there. They got Riker and Troy to find out why they have issues. There's Seven, Raffi, as well as talks about the Enterprise E and F and what's went on with the Titan. So it's going to be an Instagram Star Trek logs. If you haven't gone there, you should go. And while you're there, you'll see there's logs from all the other past shows that have been on TV, from Discovery and everything else. So it's going to be pretty good. Now, this is what I'm really excited about, because I've been waiting anxiously to talk to everyone about the episode of Picard since number 1 and I saw it. And my reluctance has been intensified since I have this attachment. So I'm going to be very careful on what I talk about in this episode. So, Heather?
Hi, Captain. So my homework. My Tribble ate my homework. Yeah.
Wait, you don't have a recap?
My Tribble ate my homework.
Yeah, but what about the recap?
Oh, yeah. Here, just a second. Let me use ChatGTP. Just a second. Okay, I got it. Okay, so this week's episode was Star Trek Picard, Season 3, Episode 1, The Next Generation. It first aired February 16th, 2023. Teaser. Badass Beverly. Beverly Crusher is alerted by Alexa that intruders are breaking into her home. Grabbing a rifle phaser, she engages in the battle and vaporizes him, but is hurt in the process. Terrified, she sends an encoded message to the one person she knows she can trust, Picard.
I don't know of anybody who plays Fallout, but the song that they played in the beginning of this, I Just Want to Set the World on Fire, is a song predominantly played in Fallout. So automatically when I heard that song, I had the warm feels.
That must have been so cool to hear that.
Yeah, so that was really, really cool. And they have beautiful scenery, and you see, did you talk about, we're still on the teaser, right? You didn't bring up
No, teaser.
Yeah.
Teaser only.
So this is just Beverly kicking ass.
Yeah,
and then she sends the message to Picard.
It's basically she's there to kick ass and chew gum.
And take names.
But she's all out of gum.
Mm-hmm. And she locks, we don't know who it is at this point, but, she locks that one guy in I guess.
Slammed the door on him.
Yeah, he's like, let me out.
Yeah, he just sees a silhouette. He must heard your penance for locking people in the closet, Pat, because he was banging and banging. It's like, I want to get out.
I free people from closets. I don't lock them in.
That's not what you just said.
Well, he really wanted out of the closet.
Yeah, but the thing is, she's shown that from the time she's been healing people, she's been killing people. She got quite good at it.
Killing people. That's hilarious, sir. I love it. Beverly Crusher is kick-ass, and we've always known she's kick-ass, but we just never get a chance to really see it, at least not to this extent.
No.
I mean, she's kick-ass in command. We've seen that. She's great with, all the medical stuff she does. But apparently she's had some really good training on the Black Ops because she can kick ass literally.
Yeah, she's more kick-ass than when she was on Enterprise.
I mean, she really got pushed to her limits, I think, because she did get hit a couple times. But she was still, blasting away.
She did.
She totally was. She was being badass.
I loved it.
And not only just blasting away, she's like, fuck leaving prisoners behind or somebody who's wounded. She vaporized them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was definitely not on stun mode.
No, she vaporized them.
She had the phaser set to vaporize. Yeah,
the phaser was set to vape. That's not what you think it is, kids.
Don't vape the phaser.
You can't smoke that.
Don't vape the phaser, dude.
It will not end well.
I mean, you probably could, but it wouldn't work the way you think it would.
When it first starts, did you guys notice the possessions Beverly Crusher had? The exotic flowers from Cause and Effect, Season 5, Episode 18. The pearl necklace, which I'm not talking about that pearl necklace. It's like an actual pearl necklace. And that was from The Big Goodbye, Season 1, Episode 12.
Whoa.
Or the drama masks, when she was made an honorary citizen in Season 3, Episode 18, Allegiance.
She had a lot of things where I saw that was memories of the Enterprise.
Didn't she direct a play? She directed a play once, right, on Enterprise?
Yeah.
Well, I guess everybody gets to direct a play at some point.
And she had all of those little things to remind her of her time on the Enterprise, I thought.
Lots of old memories, if you can look and see some of those things. It was really dark on my screen. Was your screen as dark as mine?
Mine was more reddish than dark.
I had to put my, what do you call it?
Padded.
You had to turn the brightness up on your pad.
Yeah, I had to turn the brightness up, exactly, all the way up.
I was really excited to watch this on the big 4K screen and in Dolby Vision mode, but then I had to turn all the lights off, so we were like watching in the dark. It was cool. It was like a theater, but it was definitely a darker image than I was used to expecting on Star Trek.
Yeah, but that must have been pretty cool in a way, because then you have that horror feeling when it's
when they start blasting. Oh my God, that was scary as all hell.
Yeah, and the masks, whatever it is that they were wearing, it's like, what is these creatures? Because we've never seen them before.
Talking with them clicking sounds and stuff. It was not natural.
Yeah, that's the same noise now that if I move around my chair too much until I can get this damn thing off, it clicks like that. So
that's your hip.
No, my hip pops more. It doesn't click.
Your hip hops more?
It pops more, like snap, crackle, pop.
Oh, God.
This was the first episode that was in the 25th century. It was in 2411. Very first one. None of the other ones have done that.
That's what was weird about that number.
Uh-huh.
Because I'm like, I thought that was just like an establishing number, but They're just literally setting the date for you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And they
That's
use the
pretty
number
cool.
47. 47's and everything.
Yeah, 47. Yeah, it's a standard number throughout Star Trek. Shields are down 47%. We have 47% power capacity. So that's definitely a thing.
Your face is down 47%.
Hey. I love how Crusher is listening to a mixtape Picard made her. Hey.
What the hell was that?
Sorry, I had it was time to change the litter in my cat's box, and I set an alarm for it and I forgot.
Oh, so that's what you call it. All right.
Okay, that's very specific.
Let's go ahead and go to the next section where we let Patrick go.
This is how he spends a Friday night so often that he sets an alarm for that.
He cleans
I'm sorry.
the cat litter box on a Friday night.
Yeah,
I apologize, sir, but
his
that's kind of humorous.
his cat litter box, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Okay.
Wait,
All right,
before we move on to the next one, the Captain Picard's audio logs that we were listening to at the beginning of the episode that she was listening to, that actually came from different episodes. So that came from The Next Generation Season 3, Episode 26, The Best of Both Worlds, Season 5, Episode 7, Unification 1, and Season 1, Episode 1, Encounter to Farpoint.
Wow. I was wondering why was Beverly going through those old logs?
That's a mystery.
Because in that episode, they had hidden in a nebula, and she was hiding in a nebula. So she was sort of like using his tactics for her situation.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So that was. She figures if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for me.
And then, of course, the Meridian Codec was something we find out a little bit more about later. But it was she enacted it right there.
That was cool.
I'm glad they didn't say Miranda, because then that would have had Firefly flashbacks.
Oh dear.
Okay. Next section.
Okay,
Wait,
I Captain.
Is number one back for playing with his litter?
Yeah.
Yep, he's back. He just had this satisfied groan. Okay, go ahead. Next.
Okay, Act 1. Directions are hard. Storyline A. After spending the day packing for his vacation with his girlfriend Laris, Picard hears a faint alarm beeping. Hey, Patrick, this is a great time for your alarm to beep. Alexa is no help when it comes to the location of that sound, so Picard has to stumble around himself looking for that damn annoying alarm to shut it off. When he finds his old badge in the box, he realizes it's not an alarm but a message from Crusher. Here are my coordinates. Trust no one, especially Starfleet. So Picard ignores her advice and trusts a former Tau Shiar intelligence agent. Then he goes to a public bar, 10 forward, to notify his old Starfleet number 1 about the info.
In public.
In
Totally
public.
in public.
With everybody around.
Mm-hmm.
And Riker is able to solve Crusher's riddle, and they get their new coordinates. Now, all they need is a ship. Storyline B, Raffi is on Metalis Prime, hitting up her old dealer for some new dope. She is also jonesing for a good poker hand and goes all in for a breadcrumb of information. With all of her money spent, the dealer dumps her, so she takes the drugs and data and scrambles away. A few blocks later, our drugged-up Raffi miraculously sobers up, dumps the drugs, and notifies Section 31 about the tip she just got. Find the Red Lady.
Did y'all notice what the planet was called?
Metalis?
Metalis Prime.
Is that named after the showrunner, Terry Metalis?
Terry Metalis, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
It was bothering me for the longest time. What is Metalis Prime all about? And it just zinged right now. I was like, oh, the showrunner's name.
I noticed it when we were watching it at the premiere, and I was like, oh, Terry Metalis. And I had said it out loud.
That's cool. He got a planet named after him.
Right?
Mm-hmm. And Picard has a moment with Alexa.
Yes,
it's like Alexa's not doing her job, just like today, and he's having problems making it work. And he's like, fine, I'll do it myself. Jesus.
It's like, I know what a codec is. Even Picard knows what a codec is.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I hear the noise too, but I don't know where the fuck it is. You look for it, old man.
Mm-hmm.
But what I have to say is that during this part with Raffi, when it looked like she was taking drugs and she looked all fucked up, I actually got really sad. I was like,
me too.
Wow, what happened to her?
It was like, oh, she fell off the wagon, man.
And
Big time.
Yeah, I was so heartbroken until she showed that she wasn't. And it was like,
The scene was like, oh, but she was still tempted for at least 2 seconds, you know?
Yeah.
It was hard to watch.
Very hard to watch. But to see that she's working for Section 31. No, I did not summon you. You're not the boogeyman. You shouldn't show up every time we mention you.
Well, as long as he doesn't call Beetlejuice 3 times, we'll be fine.
Beetlejuice.
He just pointed threateningly at my crotch and left.
You did it. He just pointed. Oh my goodness. It's a good thing that that box wasn't in storage, because if that box was in storage, he never would have got Crusher's distress call.
It's true. It would have been all due to timing.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And they were packing everything up to put it in storage. That's what they were talking about.
Did we get to see, is this in the section where Laris was looking at that painting of the Enterprise?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they were talking about packing it up.
Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised that Laris got a couple scenes in this thing. I was really happy to see her again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally.
That was cool. And then the point where Picard's like ready to just get rid of his old things. And then these are things you know, these are big deal things. That painting was on the Enterprise D, right?
Oh yeah, we've seen that painting before.
Of the Enterprise D. It was on the D, it was of the D.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
It was
right.
DD'd. It was double D'd.
It was a good picture of the fat one.
Yeah, the fat one.
The fat one. Why did they call it the fat one? That's fucked up.
That one. There were so many Easter eggs in this episode, it was hard to name them all, the painting being one of them. And if you guys don't follow this dude on Twitter, you really should. His name is Gag, HYOGI 49, and his real name is George Hillebrand. He actually worked at the research assistant for Star Trek Picard. And if you look at his tweets, he goes into so many Easter eggs, and they finally hired the guy to do all the Easter eggs for this
That's
season.
awesome.
Isn't that awesome?
He's actually literally on the. Oh, that's
He's
so cool.
literally on it. It was like the first time he ever worked with Star Trek, because they found him and everything. And he's
That's
like, I got to
awesome.
work as a research assistant.
That's awesome, because he is so
Yeah.
good. Every
is
day he'll
amazing.
tweet something out about an episode, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
always so accurate. Like, this guy's got to have a photographic memory or something.
Oh,
because he names
must.
what, you know, brings it right to the episode, brings the, you know, every little detail. He's got a photo of it. The amount of work he must go to do all of this stuff is amazing. Of course, he's going to be their research assistant.
He's been doing it for years. I mean, every time there's a new episode, he's always on it with all the Easter eggs. And then if there's no new episodes, he goes back to old episodes.
Right.
I am following this guy like religiously because I get some of my Easter eggs from him. Hint, hint.
Cheater.
But
Cheater.
Oh, completely,
You're a
completely, and
cheater.
totally, 100%.
The best steal. I mean, that's just, you know, that's how it is.
Captain. Just so you know, she's not the great investigator that you thought she was. She's a cheater.
Number one, how could you do that to me?
Well, you just outed yourself.
Well, I didn't think the captain was listening.
Captain, are you there?
See, he's not listening.
What happened to the captain? Did the dots get him?
I think he's crying.
Is he? Are you okay, sir?
All those positive fitness reports.
What?
All those kudos in her file.
You got to remove him now.
Lies.
It's all lies.
It's all lies.
It's all fake news, sir.
Fake news.
I cheated on the exam.
Heather's been trumping you.
Oh.
Full of lies. Lies.
Ay, ay, ay.
So you have to, post his account on another page. And
Oh, yeah, we'll post it in the show notes. I think we posted from him before. He's really good.
Put it in our chat, too, because I want to check him out.
Okay.
Did you notice that all this, I can't believe she lied. All the ships on the bar was like Eaglemoss.
It felt like it, didn't it?
Yeah, they look like all the Eaglemoss ships. And it's like, why is there so many D's left? He says the fat one.
And nobody's buying the D.
Nobody wants the fat
And
one.
the bartender, she was like, oh, nobody wants the fat one. It's like, she was like totally snotty about it.
That was so
That
fucked
was
up.
funny.
That's the fat one. Like, oh my God.
I was
And she's
actually
like,
upset it wasn't
That's a
Whoopi.
Galaxy class, Missy.
Yeah, right? That's like looking at a Cadillac and going, oh, that old thing. That's a fat car. Not with a PH. I'm like, whoa, wait a second. That's a classy car right there. You should go take a ride in it.
They're like, we got good memories of that.
Right. A lot of good memories, like 7 seasons worth and part of a movie.
Yeah.
But I like how when Riker deciphers Hellbird and Picard's like, what? And it's like, oh, yeah, that's when you were looking. It's never, of course you don't know what that's about.
You weren't there for that one, sir.
Yeah.
I like how that little clue was included, and it was kind of like Beverly knew to encode a way that it will be decrypted.
Mm-hmm.
Not just Picard will be going in. So she was definitely expecting him to at least bring in somebody from the old crew.
And
Well,
if you guys,
if the coordinates that she gave, if no one outside of the Enterprise crew is going to know what Hellbird was, so
and when you say no Starfleet, she means the Starfleet. The people that were family to them is okay.
and if you guys want to see that episode with Hellbird, that's season 3, episode 26, the best of both worlds.
cool.
And we get a little bit of an inkling, though, when Riker offers to help
There's a
Picard.
cream for that.
When he tells him, it's like, aren't you worried you have your own family? And he's like, well, Deanna and Kestra is going to be happy he's out, that he's not around.
Which makes me wonder if there's trouble at home.
Is Riker in the doghouse?
Yeah, it's got to be
Sounds like
something
it.
that he did that
He couldn't-
really pissed him off.
He couldn't solve the problem with bunny corn pizza.
Yeah, that probably could.
Ooh.
Well, in the trailers that we see, there's at one point Deanna's like, you just flew off into space and just left us. So there's
Maybe there's something going on at home.
mhm.
Well, I mean, they've been married for 20-some years. You're going to have, that kind of arguing.
And she's a telepath. I mean, come on.
Oh,
How long are you
yeah.
going to put up with having a telepath
Well,
in the house?
she's an empath, not a telepath.
Oh, well, whatever. Empath, telepath.
There's a difference.
I bet he's going to put up with it a lot to have her in the house because I bet she's great at sex, being an empath and all.
Well, she can feel it.
Well,
She can
giving
tell
or
before he
receiving.
gets there. Yep.
Both.
She'll be able to tell. She goes, don't you dare. You're close.
Well, like mother, like daughter, apparently.
Oh,
Has his sex life quadrupled yet? Maybe that's why you're trying to get out of the house.
We all know
probably is
Loxana was a beast.
So he's
Yes.
he's pulling a Mr. Roper on her.
Oh, my God. Is Troy going to come in all sexed out? Oh, my God. Oh,
Well,
wow. Did you guys see her in the second episode? Can you drop a hint there?
No. Well, the real reason why she left is because
So you did see her in the second episode. Wow, that's cool.
Well, we can't-
She's going to be in the second episode.
Yeah,
He got zapped too? Oh, my God. They're zapping both of them now.
okay. Should we move on so that way they stop zapping?
Probably smart to move on.
that singed my net
confirm.
hairs.
I can't confirm or deny if she's going to be in the next episode.
No, you want to keep it in that hair.
Certain.
But Todd Stashwick is in the second episode. That one you got to.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he's in the first episode.
Yeah, but he survives to the second one. The captain spoiled that one last week.
Oh, yeah.
Did I?
Yeah, that's how you got stunned in the face.
So
You
why are
might
you
not
trying to get me
remember
to get
that.
stunned in the face again now?
Well, it's an improvement.
Okay, Act 2.
Okay.
Yes, Act 2.
Please.
Okay, Act 2. Dinner with Dickie. Storyline A. Picard and Riker come up with a ruse to commandeer Riker's old ship, the Titan. Under the guise of a surprise inspection, they board the ship and are greeted by 7 of 9, or Annika Hansen, since that is the name the captain insists everyone calls her. She is Captain Shaw's number 1 and leads them on their mock inspection. When they approach the bridge, they are surprised to find that Geordi LaForge's daughter is the pilot of this ship. Since everything is in tip-top shape, they leave the space dock parking lot and jump to warp 9.9. They join Captain Shaw in the dining room where he is already halfway through dinner. Dick. Picard asks to change course to Deep Space 4 and Shaw calls his bluff, reminding him that Deep Space 4 has been closed for a year. He denies the request, insults them a few times, and then goes to bed, leaving 7 to drive the rest of the night while they sleep. Storyline B, Raffi is back in her ship looking for references to the Red Lady and comes up short. Her lack of progress is frustrating, especially since she is under so much pressure from Section 31. But they have faith in her and tell Raffi to keep looking.
This part here, Todd Stashwick, love him as an actor. and he's got such a great presence on the small screen, and it was nice to see him on the big screen. But he was also really dickish. But he was dickish.
Well, he looked like he learned from Jellicoe.
Yeah, but he was. But the thing is that everything he said was right. The only reason why he seems more of a dick is because we're used to our heroes being able to get their way, and he was like, "Yeah, no." And that whole, when he's eating, you could show his disdain for them basically roughshotting all over the place and not paying attention to rules. Is like, what, are we late for dinner? No, your reputation's proceeded so far ahead of you. I started already.
I was like, damn.
It's like, what a thing
Yeah,
to
that's
say.
not protocol, right? That's kind of offensive.
That's disrespectful, man. That's disrespectful.
He was completely disrespectful to
And
them
he's sitting
in
there
so
eating.
many different ways.
No, and you see Riker's get this twinkle in his eye, and he's like giving all these reasons why they needed to go to this other area. And he's like, well, that's out of the way. And he says, well, if we go ahead and hit the warp pyre, we can split the costs and we can get there. And he listens to it, he nods, and he looks down and goes, yeah, no. Right?
Yeah.
Nope.
It's like-
Nope.
And he's like,
And then they're
are
like,
you
wait,
kidding?
did you just say no?
He's like, Picard is an admiral, retired.
And, well, I'm still
I'm
a
a
captain
captain,
without a
not-
ship.
Yeah, without your ship. So, no.
It's like the Xeners on that guy.
And when Picard gives him some Chateau Picard wine, and he's like, oh, I'm a Malbec man. Like, dude,
He completely
Just say thank
insulted
you.
his wine.
just say thank
Seriously.
you.
I don't think he knows how.
And then he's
Yeah.
like, it's like, I'm done with this conversation. Basically, go put it in. I'm going to leave. I hope you find your accommodations, acceptable
Oh,
for
the
the last minute.
commendations, my God.
But when he tells Annika that Seven, that she's in charge, he's like your loyalty is to this ship, not to some ex-Borg. Like the way he said, like it was like, wow,
That was a little over the top. That was a little bit over the top. And you could see Riker was about to smack him in the face.
I could see why Seven was like, lower your expectations.
I've seen a lot of people on social medias who are like, they're like, oh my God, this guy is a great actor because I hate him already.
That's it. That's pure Stashuk right there. And at least that's my experience of watching him on 12 Monkeys. He's so good at being so bad.
And if you guys know him, the actor, he is nice. He's like
a really
such a
nice
sweetheart and
He is.
so wonderful. Like nothing like his characters.
He is. And what's really kind of fucked up also is like, when you see the accommodation, he puts them in bunk beds.
He was in lower decks.
That's, yeah.
lower
Next,
decks.
next
Oh,
section.
God. Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
It was so funny.
I'm going to be saying that in my summary, by the way. The music that he was listening to as well.
Classical.
The classical. But what's funny is the connection between what he was listening to in this episode is there's something in that song that's called the Picardy Third. And this is Picard Season 3. So I thought that was a really
that's
cool.
nice.
Music nerds of the world unite. That's pretty
Yes.
heavy nerd right there.
That is pretty right there.
Is,
That's a treble boner.
is.
Yeah, that would
A
definitely
trouble
give me,
bone. Oh,
No,
It could be a bass boner, but I don't know.
no, it would give me
my.
a nerd boner, but I'm scared too until this thing gets removed. So, but it's pretty cool.
I thought that was interesting that he was such a dick, but he liked classical music. And
But
I would
not
think-
jazz.
But not jazz whatsoever.
not jazz.
And it was kind of interesting, of all the music the world can listen to in Starfleet, that's what he picked as the old classical. And I like that Riker's a swinging dude, with the jazz music.
I mean, come on, throw some Klingon opera in there, man.
or some punk rock. Klingon punk rock is really good.
Captain Shaw is like, dude, you left your music here and I hate jazz.
Right.
That was a lot of music he had to delete off that iPod.
But you notice also he's been like really kind of, being evil to Seven, because when they called her Seven, you remember what her response was, that Captain Shaw only wants me to refer to as, Annika
As
Hansen.
Annika Hansen.
She didn't like that.
No, you
And
could
so-
tell.
Well, it's not just that, but so he dead named her. Do you
Yeah.
guys know anything about
Yes.
dead naming?
Yeah, I learned about
I know
that
what dead naming
by
is.
watching everybody on Twitter.
Yeah.
Dead naming is like if you're a trans person and your name was Michael as a boy and you transition to a girl,
Yeah.
you become Michelle. If someone calls you Michael, that's dead naming you
Yeah, you
because
call
that
him.
person no longer
Right.
exists.
Yeah,
Exactly.
there you
So
go.
when someone uses a name that person didn't ask permission to use, or if you don't like it or you don't identify it or anything like that, that's dead naming.
Yeah,
You said, Patrick. And 7 of 9 has always felt comfortable with 7, like that's what she wants people to call her. She doesn't want people to call her Annika Hansen. And there was actually an episode where she chooses the name that she wants, and she purposely doesn't want to use Annika. She wants to use 7, not 7 and 9, but 7.
Like Cher, Madonna.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you guys want to see that, I believe it's Day of Honor, and I don't have the number for that.
Sounds like a Klingon episode.
Oh, you see the look on her face, though. She looked like she wanted to Borg slap the shit out of him.
Oh, she was ready to slap the what out of Mr. Stashwick. I was waiting the whole freaking episode for her. She's gonna go off.
I was really pleasantly surprised what happens in further acts on this show.
Okay, then
let's move on to the next.
Heather.
I Captain.
You don't mind.
Okay.
I'm going to trust you telling me the truth about this next act, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sure.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice.
Okay. Act 3. I swear to God, ChatGTP did not do my homework. Act 3. Troublemaker. Storyline A. Captain Shaw's accommodations include 2 lower deck bunks for the night. It's humiliating. Picard and Riker try to get some sleep, but end up talking late into the night like 2 teens gossiping about a girl. Their conversation is interrupted when they get called to the observation desk to meet with 7. After gaining permission to speak freely, she lets them have a piece of her mind as she threatens to throw them out an airlock if they don't tell her what's going on. Picard discloses the situation, worried about 7's career and getting her in trouble. Apparently, 7 isn't happy with her career choices and can get into plenty of trouble by herself. 7 went against the captain's orders and took Picard and Riker to where they needed to go. She had a shuttle waiting for them, and they rushed to leave, happy for the opportunity. Captain Shaw wakes up pissed as he rushes to the bridge to reprimand 7. You will never work in this industry again. Okay, don't threaten me with a good time. Storyline B. Raffi is having a hard time finding the Red Lady. It's not a person, place, or ship. It's not a restaurant meal or a concert. Wait, could it be an event? Bingo. She found the event that is unveiling a new statue, a Red Lady. Raffi hurries to that location.
I love Raffi, her ways of deduction, because you can see her fail at every idea. Like she'll get 3 wrong in a row, and then she's going to nail the 4th one, because that's what happens with her. She goes, no. You watch her bang her head against the wall, and then all of a sudden, zing, Raffi hits.
Yeah, she's very determined.
Extremely. And she's good. And her mind is very analytical and very swift on that. I mean, they could have used her on Darmok. On the episode of Darmok, she would have probably got it without using the computer. She would have been able to translate.
She'd come back by the time of the end of the episode. You guys, I got
it. So she was really good at that. And when it came to 7 changing course of the ship, she knew it had to be really important for the both of them to be on there, and needed to get to that location.
No's got a good poker face. 7 of 9 has a good poker face.
The part that I thought was really cool is when she curses out Picard. And she's like, I will toss you into the nearest fucking airlock, oh man, if you don't tell me what the fuck. It's like, that is an admiral you're talking to.
Yeah, it was
shut the fuck up, Riker. I'm talking to my friend.
Yes, I love that.
He's not used to people talking to Picard like that. Yeah. Nobody talks to Picard like that.
No, and Picard let her, because from the last season, she earned that.
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah. They've got a bond. Nobody else
close.
has this kind of bond.
Yeah,
that they
she
have.
earned that. But they played it correctly, because, like you said, Riker never saw anybody talk to him like that. So, of course, he's going to be indignant about it and rush to his defense, as number ones usually will do.
And then, of course, you find out he likes her anyway, because the stuff that she did. She turns the ship over, and they end up right exactly where they need to go.
Yeah.
I love that.
He's like, this 7's pretty cool.
She's like, if I'm going to break these rules, I want to know why I'm breaking them.
Yeah, just justify what I just fucking did, would you, please?
Yeah.
Because
exactly.
She should have started. That should have been like the lead headline, like, "Oh yeah, I turned the ship around for you guys."
Well, she probably made the decision and then was ruminating about it for the whole 4 hours or 3 hours that they were on the trip. So by the time she gets them in the room, she's fucking pissed.
And also, you figured even though she was pissed, she still had the presence of mind that says, I need to let these 2 old people sleep.
Maybe that's what it was.
We get to our
Let them get a
destination.
couple hours of sleep on those bunk beds. Then bring them in.
So
The fucking lower deck bunk beds. I can't believe they put them on the bunk beds.
That's hilarious.
no, but one of the I think also was kind of cool is one of the indications you could tell a good captain, even though he's being an ass, is he didn't feel the warp engines move anymore. Shaw woke up.
He was sleeping, yeah.
Yeah, he was dead sleep, and all of a sudden, he didn't feel the ship the way it's supposed
it woke
to do.
him right up, yeah.
Yeah,
You're
and
right.
he went to
turned
look.
out, looked out the window and went, oh, I should have put the shades on because this is hella bright.
He looked out the window and he's pissed because he's like, we are not where we're supposed to be. What the fuck?
Well, what's crazy is the last time we had an admiral and a captain come aboard a ship and decide to do a shakedown mission or a trainee exercise, an inspection, a surprise inspection, fucking Khan shows up and blows away half the galaxy. So this is kind of like, I can understand how pissed off Shaw could be about his ship getting taken.
I thought you were talking about the inspection we had because that fucking rear admiral that came on and he kept like, cloak the ship, uncloak the ship, cloak the ship, uncloak the ship, cloak the ship, uncloak the ship. Can they see us? Can they see us? Uncloak the ship, cloak the ship. He got on my nerves. Oh my God.
Somebody would really like to get the ship cloaked.
Yeah, he was just annoying and he kept calling his shuttlecraft. Can you see us? Can you see us now? Can you see us? Can you see us? And it's like, God dog it. So yeah, that was a pain. But the fact that, okay, this is a thing also that I showed with Shaw that I picked up on. Seven disobeyed him and he could have by rights threw her in the brig right then and there.
I'm surprised that didn't happen. Why
he
didn't that happen right away? Because we had to move the plot along, right?
Yeah, I think maybe also that he knows that she's good at her job. It's just that she's strong-willed. And you can kind of tell from the crew, they were kind of on Seven's side a little bit.
But he was like, I got woke up in the middle of the night. He's like, you know what? Fuck it. I won't throw her in the brig now. I'm going back to bed. Let her,
Yeah, throw her in a brig later.
We're already screwed anyway. So I'm just going to go back to bed.
You know what? It's not the first time that Seven's had an issue with a captain.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Well, and you know what? There was an interview with Todd and he said, the animosity between him and Seven it was made that way. He's like, you don't want a first officer who agrees with you. You want someone who's going to
correct,
challenge you and
correct.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So,
you go right on quoting regulations, that sort of thing.
Yeah,
but not do shit. She did shit behind his back. You don't want someone who does shit behind your back.
Yeah, she was following her instincts. And then they took
it's good to have a commander that will have hunches and act on them as long as they're
and
good
tell
hunches.
You.
Yeah. Well,
not drive 4 hours out of the way.
He's going to find out what. Well, I think he's kind of been a little bit of a dickish to her, so I think he deserved it.
Yeah, well,
I think he deserved it. That's all I'm saying.
You were sleeping, so I didn't want to wake you either.
Yeah, sure. I didn't want to wake you. I wanted you to have your nappy time.
Hoping that you would wake up nicer.
And they just like, they took a shuttlecraft. How did they do that? And Seven's like, oh. I thought she was going to do one of Patrick's things. What happened was.
Oh, I wish I could have seen that.
Oh,
I loved Picard and Riker on the shuttlecraft, though. I mean, that the getting into the.
I think that's
is
next
that next
section?
I have no idea where the act breaks are right now.
Yeah,
I only got a chance to watch this once.
Okay.
Well, I was thinking they were already in the shuttle because they got on the Titan in a shuttle.
Stun him. Stun.
But you're talking about the other part where they go out of the ship.
Stun him. Stun.
Yeah,
what do you mean?
next section.
He's not giving a spoiler. Stun him. What do you mean it's not a spoiler? He was talking about it was in this episode. You're not going to stun him. What do you mean my mic is on and now he heard everything? He did not.
Heather, what's the next section?
Patrick, did you hear me?
Okay, next section.
Next section.
Act 4, Not the Momma. Storyline B. Raffi makes it to the Starfleet Recruiting Center just in time to see GLaDOS open up 2 portals. One is sucking the building in, and the other is spitting the building out in bite-sized chunks. Raffi can't breathe as she stares in disbelief. She is too late. Storyline A. Picard and Riker board the ship and notice evidence of a phaser fight. They find Crusher in a stasis pod, barely alive, as her son looks after her. No, not Wesley, another son. The alarm goes off, and Picard is saved by the bell as the enemy ship approaches. For someone who is told to keep a secret, I'm surprised at how Picard has such loose lips.
And they sink ships.
He doesn't keep secrets at all.
I think Picard's the kind of guy that if you have a secret, you're going to tell it to him, and he's only going to tell the right people.
He's only going to tell 4 or 5, 6 more people.
But they're the
And they'll
right
tell
people.
2 friends, and they'll tell 2 friends, and they'll tell 2 friends, and so on.
Exactly.
They don't tell 2 friends. They only keep it between the friends. I mean, it's like first generation, next generation friends.
It never works that way, ever.
But, it's Picard.
And then you can see Riker gets pissed off because the guy gets the drop on him because Riker's doing CSI shit. Look at these scorch patterns over here, and the smoke came, and it was an effective killer, and is that a pistol in my back?
Well, the first time I saw the episode, I didn't see him in the background.
He came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it was like it kind of went by quick, and you didn't. If you weren't looking, you didn't really see him.
And so he was busy, and so Riker was ticked off.
Did
because
you see the reaction to him getting hit by Riker?
Yeah, that was funny.
Mm-hmm.
That was not the reaction you usually get on a Star Trek show.
Yeah.
He hit him in the head. He was like, ow! He knocked him the fuck out almost. It was,
that was
he's
funny.
like, usually people throw up more of a battle on Riker, but this guy, like, one hit, done.
Oh, come on. Riker's been practicing with the trombone for how long? That left arm is all muscly and everything.
Oh, my.
So he turned around and just whacked him right in the head.
Whack him.
And meanwhile, Picard is looking at Beverly like Sleeping Beauty. He's like, we got to get out of here. We need to get her safe. And it's like, what's that noise? You led him straight to us. Straight what to us? And you see this fucking monstrosity.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
It's like a ship was fucking scary. That was scarier than the ships in the movies. That was a scary fucking ship.
It looked like its weapons had weapons.
Right?
The thing was like, you look at it and you feel like one of Jim Carrey's old comedy movies. Like, what is that? It's the claw.
Oh, that's a good point. I was thinking a space spider.
Yeah, but it really looked like that thing was just, and it dwarfed that poor little ship.
Its teeth had teeth. I mean,
seriously.
Yeah.
I wonder which one was bigger, that ship or the Narada.
Oh, wow. That's a good question.
The Narada was big.
I think at this point, size doesn't matter because that thing is just so scary looking.
Yeah, but I think it would destroy the Narada because the Narada basically was a mining ship. This thing looks like it's built to just fuck everything.
Built to kill.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Over and over again.
So that it just...
And then all hell breaks loose. And thank God, except the shuttle was their only means of transportation. So now they're stuck on the ship with no warp power.
No, and that's... and talking about the cliffhanger, he's like, what's going to happen next? I'm going to see next week.
I was waiting for the Titan to pop in. The Titan should have come in any second now.
I was thinking that.
And then we got the commercial break.
Yeah,
at the end of the show.
And then straight then and there. And I can... What did you put in my lungs too? God damn it! I wasn't going to give a spoiler.
But when they were trying to find out who that guy is, Picard's like, I should have known Beverly would never, send a message just to save herself. And she's like, who are you? She's like, her son. And the look on Riker and Picard's face, it was like
dun dun dun. It was whose son?
It was who's your daddy?
Whose son is it?
Who's your daddy?
Don't know
who's your daddy?
Yeah.
Did you guys see that when they were like showing, who played what at the credits and everything? Ed Spielers, is that what Spielers? Okay, the guy who is Beverly's son was named as a crew member. He wasn't named as Beverly's son or anything like that. He was named as crew member.
They wanted to keep the spoilers because Section 31 be extremely busy stunning everybody who sees the show. So.
Must have stunned the graphics person a couple times.
Yeah. But it was, I think it was an exciting episode, and I can't wait for everyone to see next week's.
Can we talk about the first part of this section? That was devastating. We're just going to destroy the place by transporting the bottom of it and landing it on your head.
Thank you for
killing you by beaming your ass off and dropping it on your face.
Thank you for bringing this back up. Thank you, because there was a part that I was going to mention.
It wasn't on the face of the building. It was like to the side of the building, so it was like double destruction.
It was devastating. It was totally devastating. You beamed it. That's just like cold. I mean, you just beamed the bottom of it out.
Don't piss off GLaDOS.
That's crazy.
That's that tunneling technology that Raffi was trying to find, man.
Well, thank you for bringing this up because I was going to mention it and it slipped my mind. The sound that they did was so fucked up because I was listening to it in the full,
You could hear the people
Dolby
screaming.
surround thing. You hear the screams.
Oh, are you serious?
You hear
Well,
screaming.
she couldn't even raise anybody.
No, and it was screaming when that thing was going down. Mixed in with the music, you heard screams.
Ooh.
Oh,
And it's like, ooh, shit. The whole thing, because it gets sucked into the ground, like you said, like someone had a big ass portal gun, and then comes down and it's raining, and you hear the screams, and you see Ralphie's face, and you see that she figured it out, but just a little too late.
Yep.
And it's like, oh.
And the first time I saw it, I didn't quite know what the second, this hole in the sky was. It didn't dawn on me exactly what was happening there. It was like I knew the building had fallen into the hole, but it didn't register that the hole was coming out of the sky.
I mean, you beam out the bottom of the building collapses because there's nothing underneath it. Then you drop the bottom of the building onto the top of the building. That's just so fucked up.
It was really, really bad. And to see the look on her face, Ralphie's like in vengeance mode now because she figured it out, but just not quick enough. And then nobody picked up the phone. She calls, hey, even though if they did pick up the phone, they still don't want to better do everything because they wouldn't have been
they couldn't do
anything.
anything. They didn't even have time to evacuate.
No, it was so like, wow. So that was horrific. And then now we got a potentially horrific situation because we just get this fucking death machine is in the fucking nebula. And we don't know what's going on the Titan, whether or not they've seen this thing. We don't know whether or not if they're going to try to rescue. They don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Are they going to notice that shuttle pod was blasted away?
They don't know anything. We won't know until the second episode because, y'all not tricking me to tell you.
Okay,
what's going to happen.
What happened was...
Yeah, because I don't want my thing singed off of me, so...
When Riker and Picard were going through the ship, did you guys notice that Riker lapsed and called Picard captain again?
That was a cool moment.
Yeah.
It was like old habits. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, that was nice.
I love their little Sundance and Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid kind of thing. And they called it out in the behind the scenes stuff. They were talking about, that's what we were doing on purpose. But it was cool. It was fucking cool that Riker and Picard, there they are, blasters ready to go. And Riker's like, my knees are hurting. And Picard's like, I can barely hold this thing straight. As long as I don't have to shoot anybody.
Or move.
That was of age. If you haven't seen it, people who are listening, make sure you watch. If you have Paramount Plus, watch The Ready Room. It was really good. There's a nice interview there with Beverly and with Picard or Patrick Stewart and with
Gates
McFadden. And they also had Terry Metalis to sit as well. So it's really, really good. And they talk about the show and everything else. And you can see Terry's about ready to pop a gut because he wants to spoil too. But because I personally think that Section 31 was in the wings. But it was nice.
He was trying so hard not to spoil it.
Yeah, it was done really, really well.
It's been funny following him on Twitter, watching him try to drop secrets. He drops little secrets here and there.
Do it.
I mean,
what kind of secrets?
Well, he was dropping the images of the Elcars, but they were using those as the background for the credit sequence at the end. And it was so cool looking. I thought he was showing just pictures of the bridge stuff, but it was actually stuff that was shown there too. And like, ooh, that's secret stuff too.
Now, you guys, I don't have to tell you what the homework is because you already know. Next week is going to be the second issue of Picard. Woo-hoo. And once we see that, then number one and I are all caught up. We won't have to worry about dangles on my dingle or anything like that because then we'll be fine on it.
Well, hopefully. We don't know what the dots are going to do.
Oh, yeah, this is true. I got to change my code. But I'm scared to change my code because what happens, they really need to get into the room. And there's an emergency.
I don't know, but the mixtape thing was really cute. Not the dots doing the mix. That was pretty obnoxious. But Picard making a mixtape for Beverly.
Yeah, that was nice.
Really fucking cute.
That was. And she had all of the music there. So there's still feelings there. So I wonder who she might have slept with in order to have a son.
Yeah. So, is he the baby's daddy?
We'll find out next episode whether if he is or not.
Who's the baby daddy?
You can't
Who's
trick
the baby
me.
daddy?
You can't trick me because this thing is hanging on by a hair.
I'm not going to say
find out.
You know who the baby daddy is by the second episode?
Yeah, you do get an answer.
We're going to find out who the baby daddy is.
You do get an answer. And it's like,
okay,
what
so
the hell? Data
moving on, so
reproduces?
section...
go ahead.
Oh, God. Maybe, moving on, so Section 31 doesn't stun your ass again.
Okay.
Did you guys notice that the 4 Annie at the end of it?
Oh, yeah. That was a really nice touch. And Will Wheaton's thing at the end of the Ready Room, too.
Yeah, they give it to her, too.
Yeah.
It's so devastating to lose somebody so,
talented.
So talented and so
nice.
So young.
Life. Incredibly young for that.
Yeah. She was in her,
the theater
40s?
when the For Annie came up.
They got it in the theater, too. That's good.
Yeah.
The character she played on The Rookie with Nathan Fillion, she played this mastermind serial killer that...
How do you say her last name? Annie
Wershing.
If you guys don't know, she played the Borg Queen.
Yeah.
In last season?
Yes.
Yep, season 2. And she was really good. Just phenomenal.
She was really, really good. And from what everyone said, and you'll see on the after show, in the Ready Room, how much everyone loved her and how much she was so full of life. And whenever you get somebody like that passes on, it's hard to wrap your mind around how such a force of nature could be diminished. They fill the space that they're in. So how can that be gone? And then that's something.
Just like Chadwick Boseman. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, seriously. It's like, how can you? There's one thing when it came to Chadwick. The Five Bloods was a Netflix movie about a Vietnam era, and these guys go back, and he was in it. And Delroy Lindo gave a interview about how when Chadwick was there, and he was looking forward to work with Chadwick, the great Black Panther. Mm-hmm. And he said he had an entourage around him that kept fanning him, giving him juices and everything else and massaging him. And he thought it's like, wow, this guy's not who I thought he was. He was like such a prima donna. And then he found out that he was on the last stages of cancer.
Oh,
and
shit.
they were doing that, and they were filming in a hot jungle. And how he said he kind of felt like shit afterwards because he didn't know that he was going through it, but he was such a professional. He was always on time, made his scenes, made his lines and everything else. And he was so thin and was so messed up is that people who saw him thought that he was on crack and stuff because he was so thin. It was from all the chemo and things he was going through. So it's sad when you have people that are like that. And I know this is a Star Trek episode, but if you have a chance, go see Wakanda Forever. They do a really, really good job in tribute for him and how they're going to set up for the next season or next time they do a movie if they want to, without spoiling it.
Yeah. There's a quote that I tell myself often because I have to. Don't assume you'll make an ass out of yourself.
No, that's true. There's a lot of things that...
No, I don't assume I'll make an ass out of myself. I know I will.
I think it's unfair that they didn't stun you as much as they stunned me. But that's another thing. But thanks, everybody, for joining us. If you really enjoyed this episode, if you find something that we've missed or that you wanted to talk about, go ahead and drop us a line at the collective at starfleetunderground.com and we'll get it. So thanks again for writing in. And please make sure you just don't have a great week, but make it so.
And if you can, support the show by going to patreon.com/Starfleet Underground. Lots of perks to choose from, and you might even like some of them. Starfleet Underground, beaming into a podcast feed near you. Log on to our website at starfleetunderground.com and send your comments and questions to thecollective@starfleetunderground.com. Follow us on Twitter at StarfleetUnderG and on Facebook and Instagram, we're Starfleet Underground.
What is this you handing me? It's a wad of tape. It's a mixtape for me? How can I get mad at you?
It's so sweet. And so messy.
I won't put it to my ear. I will put headphones in it later. Because it's tape.
Captain, watch out for the tapeworm, too. It's wriggling around in there.
I didn't see anything. Holy shit.